Hello my friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope things are going well in your world. I really like the new set. I was not prepared to be this excited about Magic again, and yet here we are. Perhaps it's because I really liked AFR, perhaps it's because I like the fantasy setting a lot better than guns and cars than I did in Magic, but something's really drawing me to this setting, and the gameplay is something that I'm enjoying. So be on the lookout for a little bit more Magic content than we've had over the last little bit. This is the very first live draft that I did with Baldur's Gate. It's a traditional best of 3 draft, or as I like to call it, a draft. You know, play whatever you want, but I do think that best of 3 is really where Magic shines. I super enjoyed this. I'm not going to do any spoilers. I'll just let you guys watch and enjoy. Please do leave me a comment. Let me know that you like what you're seeing or that you don't like what you're seeing. That's fine. Like, subscribe, do all that jazz. We're really getting close to 1,000 subscribers. We're at 940 right now. So that last little push is kind of a big deal. Would love your support if you'd like to see more videos. All right, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy. All right, here we go. I will be talking less because I need to read these bloody cards. Mill 5 cards and return a creature to your hand. Put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Activate as a sorcery. That does not seem great. That seems actively kind of bad to me. Okay, that's to create a token, but it's got flying. We know what the axe does. There's the gate. So this is not wonderful stuff to start with. I wonder if the best cards here is actually this Prowler. I like Patriarch's Humiliation too. Like, that's a pretty good one. I like the axe too. I could see it if you want to go like really aggressive. It's like half of a combat trick. I'm gonna take the Prowler. Let's do it. This doesn't look good to me. I can't make myself do it. I also think the Prowler is severely underrated, and black has seemed pretty good so far, so we can talk. Hey, it is letting me use my AFR skins. I like this. This pleases the Travis. I'm actually super tickled with that. So this leaves me with the choice of Breath Weapon, Roper, Grim Bounty, Charmed Sleep. I do love an Owlbear. In the preview event, good morning, Lyra, my favorite color combo was green-black by a lot. But I feel like Prowler into Grim Bounty is hard to go wrong with. It just seems really good to me, so I don't know why you wouldn't just gobble that up. I'm probably buying the Battle Pass now. I'd kind of made the decision that if they let me use my AFR skins, I would buy it, because that's cool. Can never go wrong with a Humiliation. I mean, whatever you're into, I'm not here to judge. Well, what do you do? So 6 mana, Death Touch lifelink, target opponent loses the life equal to the lost a life, you gain life. That's not bad. It'll trade for anything, it'll gain you a little life, it'll maybe close out a game. I could try that. I don't know that it's worth splashing for. Like, the question is it as good as a Herd Gorger? And I suppose it kind of is if you're in black-white, because it's going to trade for whatever their largest thing is, which is often what the Herd Gorger does, and or eat removal, and probably gain you about 4 life. I'm not considering myself married to white, but we'll consider this. Yeah, I don't think this is a bomb. I think this is a playable 6-drop. So I'll move off of it if I need to. Pilgrim's Eye I like a good bit. I don't know about the rest of this. This is like Animate Artifact, right? Yeah, the Paladin's okay. This thing seems okay. Yeah, there's a lot of okay stuff here. Whereas Pilgrim's Eye, I mean, if I want to splash something, I'm kind of well set up for that. The Myconid kind of does that too, as well as giving you more bodies, which I dig. But that would kind of force us into green. And I really do like green-black, but like we're pretty far away from having any defined colors yet. I got to play with that one during the preview event, Bob. I thought it was pretty good. What is Grave Choice to? Target opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. If it had mana value 2 or less, I get a copy. Okay, so if they sacrifice something small, I get 1. They've got Minimus Containment, which is a solid removal spell. The Black Dragon Gate, which I like quite a bit. Summon Undead, which was very good in some of the decks we built. But I think I'm going to go with the Minimus Containment. Like, it's at least splashable, and if we're just getting into straight black-white, it's going to be good. I don't particularly love any of these cards. I guess it's kind of cute to blink the Pilgrim's Eye. But like, you're paying for it, right? Because you're playing a Hill Giant, and Hill Giants just aren't good. Yeah, this is kind of like grab a weird playable. I guess we're deep enough in black-white that I'll take it, but I'm not thrilled about that. The Paladin I like a good bit. It's a decent 2-drop. Prism I also like. Druidic Ritual I quite liked. But I think we're actually moving to just doing black-white things, which I'm not opposed to. I don't think I would be wanting to playing the Stalwart in that, but this is a pretty decent start. That I didn't super care for, but it was okay. Summon Undead might get some play. It would be difficult without a good bit of milling. But I wasn't super unhappy with it. I did quite like the Chain Devil too, now that I think about it. Let's take that. It's basically a Fleshbag Marauder. And it actually works with Minimus Containment, because your dude's not a creature anymore when that happens. There's a lot of blue cards coming by. Interesting. I'll take the Duplication, see if anything happens here. It's an uncommon, I'll respect it. Manticore I kind of liked. You find some prisoners I probably overvalue, but I really like this card too. This can be a good way to force some damage. I just said which one I'd rather play. I think we're equally black and white. I think I'm a little more happy playing this, but we'll see. The Imp I sort of liked. I saw some people playing that, and it wasn't too bad. The scry value did add up. And I don't think I need Eye of the Beholder yet. So, okay. Could still, in theory, go blue-black. I just haven't seen a reason to yet. That's playable. Guess we should start a playable but not guaranteed to go in pile. Wish it would let me drag them to the pile I want them in. So Basilisk Collar used to be kind of insane in formats with pingers, but I don't think we have pingers here. It's really not something you have in modern Magic, where you can tap a creature to deal damage to another creature. And without that, this kind of just makes whatever you have a really good blocker. Which isn't bad. Lifelink on something medium-sized is fine. It's a worse Shadow Spear. Shadow Spar? I don't know what Shadow Spar is. That must have been in a set I didn't play. Minimus Containment looks pretty good too. Yeah, I think I actually have convinced myself I want to try it. It's fun to play with the rares too. Priest of Ancient Lore I like, unless this does something crazy. Create 2 knights, draw a card, destroy an artifact, destroy an enchantment, gain 3 life. And I can do all of that. So I get 2 knights, I draw a card, I destroy an artifact or enchantment, and I gain 3 life. So it's basically a 6 mana 4/4 that draws me a cheap card. I mean, that certainly seems playable. I think it even seems good. So, come on in. I think this nicely firms us up in black-white. Yeah, I saw that and didn't care for it. This was fine. I mean, it's a 2-drop. You need 2 drops. I don't think I think I value the 3/1 over the ghoul. Yeah, it's like a 3/1. I don't usually play discard, but if I was going to, I like that this one at least cycles if you don't hit something. What does this do? Choose a creature type whenever a creature enters the battlefield or attacks. That's neat. Feels like we're a little far away from it. I could potentially splash Criddle if I wanted to. This is a reason to be playing the Pilgrim's Eye. Hey, what's up, freak? How you been? I think I'm going to take the Salad, though. I don't know for sure that I'm going to play it. But if we end up playing the Summon Undead, it's not a bad little buddy to go with it. We're getting kind of hacked on white cards here, which I don't super love. Because, like, this is not a bad card. Or, excuse me, the Earth Cult is not a bad card. I could play the Robber if I needed to. But I think I'm just going to rare draft. That'll be worth gems eventually. I should still be able to get there on playables. I usually liked having access to 1 Dawnbringer Cleric, but I'm a little confused about Band Together still being here. Oh, I'm the dad of a 2-month-old baby, freak. She's been on stream a couple times. Her and her mama are taking a nap right now. But I'm a very, very happy papa. My baby's awesome. I could take this and probably plan on splashing it. It's a very powerful removal spell, and I don't quite understand why it's still there. So I'm just going to call all of this like playable crap in the sideboard, playable crap in the sideboard. If we can reliably find another 2, I'd be interested in this, or maybe the Devil. Hey, there's another 2, and it's not one I'm unhappy with. I've generally been referring to her as Sim Baby on the stream, which I think is where I'd like it to be. Okay, so green-black was kind of open. I think with the intervention and the 2s and Minimus containment, I'm probably still staying white. But let's keep our mind open. You can play this. It's not great, but playable. Young person yells at Cloud. That's 2 Herd Gorgers we have, and I haven't like actively tried to take them. So if there's a green bomb, I'm willing, is what I'm saying. Roper is not a green bomb. What do you do? Chooses a party from among creatures they control, then sacrifices the rest. So I've got a rogue, an imp, a knight, and a rogue. So that's not doing anything for me, because I could just take another Grim Bounty and be pretty damn happy. Kill something, get me to the 6s, and it gives me the other treasure I need to play the Band Together. So I think we just do that. It's sort of a way to build a bad Wrath. Sort of. If you think about it. This set do remind me a good bit of AFR, which I really, really liked. Yeah, I suppose that's the way to think of it, Scott. I may be undervaluing it, because it could be playable at the very least. What do you do? 5 mana, 4/4. When it attacks, target attacking creature gets +X. And what does black give you? I skipped through it. Black, Menace, 5/5. That's okay. We could pretty easily play that. I just don't know that it's quite worth it. Because I'm usually pretty happy with one of these vampire spawns in the deck too. I'm just going to take that. We've got room for one more 6. Yeah, it looks more like it was jammed in here than anything else. This is a really tough spot for me because I really like Bag of Holding, and I also really like Blessed Hippogriff. Like, this card's just quite strong. But this is card advantage in a deck that doesn't really have any. Yeah, I don't think I can pass the Hippogriff for the bag. I do want to make sure we get up to 15 creatures though, but I can do that. I just need to take creatures from here. Hey, there's another Prowler. That's a great one. There's also a Cast Down. Man. Well, maybe the answer is to let the band together go and play the Cast Down. Like, this is kind of a complicated Cast Down, and if I don't need to splash, that gives me more room for more focused things. Liara is not bad either, but I'm taking this Cast Down. God, I was really impressed with this as removal. But I'm kind of at the point now where I've got 11 creatures if we count this. I've still got room for more. We can find it. Can we though? Can try. Yeah, because like I can play the Officer, I can play the Salad, can certainly play the Sepulchre Ghoul. All right. It's a lot of 2s. Kind of more 2s than I was anticipating playing, but I need a little bit more in here, but like I've got this Stalwart, which isn't great, but is playable. We've kind of ended up with a little more removal than I was expecting and a little less creatures, which is going to make the Basilisk Collar worse. Kind of significantly worse. But it's the last 3 cards are the Officer, the Salad, and the Stalwart. We can work with that. I don't mind at least having access to that. I don't think I want an Iron Golem, but I've played worse. This looks all right. I think Soon's intervention, kind of a big deal for us. It's a lot of Herd Gorgers going pretty late, from my reckoning. I don't remember liking this one. Yeah, I don't. I guess we'll just hack Herd Gorgers. I should end up with 3 of those in my sideboard. That's a nice spin. I'm very happy about that. I do like the Vampire Spawn quite a bit. All right, so we need 2 more cards if we're playing 17 lands, which I think I would like to do in traditional draft. Probably not so much if we were playing best of 1. And they should probably be creatures so we can get up to 15. I'm counting Soon's Intervention as a creature. So I think we're probably playing the Stalwart and the Officer, or the Stalwart and the Salad. This plays pretty well with the Basilisk Collar. It sort of plays well with Summon Undead, but I feel like my creature count is so low, I can fit in one Summon Undead or the Basilisk Collar, and I'd like to play with the Basilisk Collar, so I think I'm going to go with Salad. And then is there anything for this to actually blink that I'm happy about? So that blinking is okay. Not busted, but okay. I don't think it resets Double Team, because perpetually affects it no matter what happens. This leaves the battlefield. Okay, so it does work with the imps, which is nice. Okay, it works with the vampire spawns. It works with the chain devil. It works here. All right, you can be in the deck. I think there's just barely enough. I could put this in if I wanted one more thing that worked with the stalwart. Problem is kind of something has to die first or this just sucks, right? But maybe that's better than the salad. Because like a pretty reasonable curve out would be play one of these that they have to trade with, attack, play this. I can work with it. What is Entropic Decay? Is that a card that I have? Oh, that's the adventure side of it. So the salad has two sides. It's an adventure card like an Eldraine. So mill 4 cards, and then you can also just play the 4/1. But I think this works. Okay, we want to go a little heavier black, right? Yeah. So we'll do 8 planes. And then 9 swamps. Good to go. And we need some sleeves. Some appropriate Dungeons and Dragony sleeves. I think yeah, we got these. All right, cool. To battle. All right, here we go for round 1. A cycling kicker? Yes, you can pay an alternate casting cost and get the effect, right? They're literally all kicker. That'll work. Hey, what's up, Sacramento? Okay, you from Sacramento? Or do you like to sacrifice things? Seems like some kind of demon cat, huh? Two, 1. Can't be blocked. Okay, cool. Don't need to block you. Specializes for 5, unless she has instants and sorceries in the graveyard. Would have liked to land there. But we can still hit one next turn and be pretty happy. I think what they used to actually say, Zombub, was that all magic mechanics are either cycling or kicker. But lately they've just kind of been kicker. When you do this, you can also do this or that sort of thing. Show me the mana. Nice. That's rather what I needed. Doesn't really do anything to blink the imp. But but it gives me 1 scry, and I'd very much like to hit a land here. Yeah, it feels, well, I guess I could use this to do it. Like, I'm eventually going to draw the lands. Like, that's a way to potentially close out the game. It's like, if I need to, I can Grim Bounty something. I don't think I hate Grim Bountying that, just to get us set up for a couple things the next few turns. Because I can get her pretty close to dead this way. It is kind of using a removal spell to force damage, which I don't love, but I also don't hate it, if you know what I'm saying. I do get to scry for sacking treasures, which is handy. If she's got a counter spell or just sitting on nothing, so I'm just going to pass with this intervention up. If her plan is to specialize and play that, I think I'm pretty happy. Okay, we're just using this to prevent a little bit of damage and draw a card. That seems acceptable. So I can deal her another 2 with this, or I can try to intervene into Devoted Paladin. I think I'd rather keep the intervention a secret. I'll do that right now. I don't know how much of the draft she was watching, but I'd rather her not know than to have it. Alright. Acceptable. I mean, frankly, that's just fine too. She's got 1 threat. Like, she's got enough stuff in the graveyard that she can transform this. It just doesn't actually really do anything, right? Yeah, I doubt she did either, Scott. That doesn't strike me as something she would do. Rachel's good people, not a ghost. I couldn't remember where I picked it, but it was in pack 2. Now that I think about it, so it probably still is a secret. Just go with the classics. The intervention? No, I took it. I was looking at it and thinking, is this good? And then I read it and was like, yeah, it's really good. I'll draw more lands. It's fine. We definitely didn't butt it. It's a Wrath we passed, eh? Yeah, we could do worse than that. I'll show her now. I did not think this Displacer Kitten was very good. Yeah, I passed that. I think it's better than I gave it credit for by a good bit. She's already dead to this that she knows I have. So we'll try that first. There we go. So she's got that weird sacrifice wrath. Things we should be looking for is, were there enchantments that we want to bloop? Is the game going on so long that we would want summon undead? Do we think that the card advantage from Demogorgon's Clutches would be worthwhile? Do we want to splash a band together? It seemed like a lot of kind of do-nothing spells and a Wrath was the plan here, right? Like, there's some blinky stuff going on, but Blur's not very good. You Come to a River's not very good. And the Displacer Kitten's frankly awful unless you're really turning this thing on, right? So presumably she's got some really good things to blink in this deck, and we just didn't see them. And if she gets to them, that could be a bit of an issue. She does have the Minimus Containment. So depending on what that goes on, I think we could be very happy with the Cleric. Yeah, I think I'd like to play the Cleric. There was no point I wanted the Basilisk Collar, so I think I'm going to cut that and bring in the Cleric. Yeah, that's my guess, is that she just didn't draw the right pieces, right? Because the other option is she just drafted a terrible deck, which can happen to any of us. But I found, whether you know your opponent or not, in this case we know that our opponent is someone who's, you know, pretty darn good at Magic. But even if you don't know your opponent, you should assume that they know what they're doing. Because if you assume that and they actually don't, you'll win easily. It's not a problem. But if you underestimate your opponent, you're just giving them a real opportunity to clock you. And you don't need to do that. It's not too bright. If we're going to play Demogorgon's Clutches, this would be the turn to play it. But I don't think I want to play it. It's a little bit better when you're on the draw and naturally have card advantage to really punish them. Yeah, she knows how to draft, Scott. She's played in the sweatsuits back when we had those. It's not a great opener, but it's keepable. Can cast most of the deck now. This hand is why we like Bag of Holding. Because it'd be a pretty good draw right now, wouldn't it? I like Bag of Holding a good bit. She's got one ear. Sort of. You may be able to hear Sim Baby. She is not a happy baby right now. This draw is going to need to improve dramatically. It did a little bit. It's almost assuredly going to have to go on that dragon, but she is definitely singing the song of her people. All right, go get them, buddies. It's pretty gross, Menthol. We traded up on mana there. That's good. Been pretty happy with the Paladin. We have a little bit of a mana problem. Turn the microphone down a lot. I don't think this counts as entering the battlefield, but I'm going to do it anyway, so why not? Okay. Oh, it doesn't have summoning signal. Yeah, for 6 lands we should hold a few. In case we draws a bag. It's okay, little one. Her mama is making her a bottle. And she's being a pretty good baby right now. So I'll turn this up a little bit more. I just didn't want you guys to hear screaming baby right in your face. But she's being a happy baby now. A little less happy now. I don't exactly know what it does, but I can't do anything. Deals combat damage to a player, exile an instant or sorcery, tap a creature. Okay. saying I could have made that attack a little better, but that there's really no way it could matter. What does this thing do? It's a 6/6. So that's not great for us. Very safe and happy baby. I want to still have lethal on board. Too many lands there. Here we go. Sim Baby is eating. Thank you very much for the resub, Trevco. And I am a very happy papa. That baby's awesome. She's great. Her mom is great too. Like, it's good to be Travis. That's a much better draw than our last one, especially on the play because we can get a little aggressive with the Dusk Guard. Like, frankly, that into soldiers is pretty neat. I kind of have to do this, though, don't I? No. Because if I hit another planes, I can have a pair of 2-drops next turn as well. She'd need to kill this for that to be bad. We just had a particularly good aggressive draw, which I like that the deck's capable of that. That seems really handy. No, it doesn't get the copy. Okay. I was curious if it got the buff too, but it appears not to. Hey, what's up, Magistrate? So she goes for a blocker, we'll plague it. We hit another planes, we've got 2 things to play. We're pretty happy to draw lands, pretty happy to draw action. This is looking great. So I can kill that and hit for 6, 7, 8. That actually seems better than hitting the the two plays. Because her wrath doesn't even stop here, right? No, these are all soldiers. Her wrath does stop. Stop this if she's drawing it. But she kind of needs exactly that. I was thinking this was a warrior. It kind of should be. Nice. It's good to get a win. Feels good, man. But good games, Rage. That bear has its pinky up while it's drinking its potion. That's pretty cute. Alright, we'll see if we can do anything with this Basilisk collar. Thank you, Mooch. Probably want to bolt the bird. Every time I don't bolt the bird, I regret it. This fun little format. Sid, thank you for the gift sub. Y'all spam some emotes of your choice. For Sid, thank you, my friend. Even if they're not stuck on 2, getting them off the ramp I think is generally good, especially with the bounty is the main reason I did it. Like, if they cast one big thing, I can just Grim Bounty it. Playing this turn so we can equip the collar next turn and play the Prowler, potentially. But I will quite happily block and let them use a combat trick if that's what they want to do. It's nice to have a set I'm enjoying. Yeah, not thrilled with this Basilisk collar right now, but might get better later. They do appear to be stuck on lands, but I'm kind of getting too many here. I still don't know what a Shadow Spar is, so I just can't compare it. I know you're supposed to put this on Prodigal Sorcerers and go Burr, but my suspicion is it's not very good because there's no Prodigal Sorcerers and you can't go Burr. Sadly, no Burr for us. +1/+1 trample and lifelink. This is not a worse Shadow Spear. This gives things Death Touch. I think this is significantly better Shadow Spear. I'd way rather have Death Touch than Trample and +1/+1. Now, Shadow Spear may have been very good back in its day. Wonder why I didn't attack with that. I probably would have called it Shadow Spar. It's like Shadow Boxing, I guess. Maybe they'll attack and use a combat trick. That'd be swell. Those are the lands from this set. They look cool. Okay, that I need to kill. Because I don't need that jamming out, which is unfortunate because ideally this would be the time to play this. But I'm going to go ahead and contain this hunting party. And if they want to use all that mana to ramp into something big, that's cool, and we can still potentially get a combat trick if they attack with the Barbarian. I don't mind them ramping into something else because I'll just bounty it. But that thing's actually pretty dang good, right? You get a 4/4 first strike and then another one. That's kind of terrifying. It's not a bad card, but I ain't exactly quaking. I think I would too, but I don't know what they have, obviously. Okay. I'm tempted to play the Paladin and swing. The problem is it's likely going to trade for something better than the Dragonborn Barbarian. So I may just need to play the Paladin and hold it back. I suspect that's the case. Thing is, like, if they block it, I do get an advantage, right? I'm just kind of scared they use a removal spell and then pump me to death, but I think this is a reasonable attack. It's not like the Death Touch is that valuable when I have a Basilisk Collar. Everything I draw is going to have Death Touch. Maybe they don't even block it, that's fine. If it dies to anything, it's extra damage? I don't think it's that. I draw a card if it dies while it's attacking. Or not blocking, more specifically. Okay. Hey, what's up, Urberk? How you doing? Glad to have you here. Hope things are well in your world. I really need to save a removal spell for the Lenorm. So I'm going to try to use Basilisk Collars to block things out. Ideally. So far, it's really fun and I enjoy it, yeah. I haven't played a lot of it. I played in the preview event. I could technically attack with this. If we really think they're on nothing. Yeah, I think I'm pretty keen to do that. It's 5 damage, right? So I can't save it. Alright. That sucks. Holding lands in case we draw the bag of holding. It's got to be pretty tempting for them to trade off the Immolator for this and then play the Lenorm. AFR was one of my favorite formats. I really quite liked it. So getting kind of a spiced up AFR is a real treat for me. And I also like the idea of Alchemy. It just hasn't played out pretty well. They're being pretty passive. It may give me time to draw out of this, but we're certainly behind here. Man, if I had any reasonable combat trick, I could do something with that, but I don't. Just flood it out. Hard. Huh. I like it too, Ekin. I really wish they were doing the 40k set as something that was draftable instead of just commander only. But apparently we're getting a Lord of the Rings set eventually to draft, which is neat. I think we're pretty dead here. Yeah, I'm going to have to take this out, and I don't want to. We're going to have to depend on having something that can actually block this. I don't know what the heck their last card is. Really unhappy with the Basilisk Collar. If they play the Lenorm and we draw another Grim Bounty, we could just keep playing for a little bit. Yeah, sure, there's the Lenorm. It just means the good cards are a little bit better than we're used to. Yeah, that'll do. When the set floods, it floods hard. I think I can beat this opponent. I just need to mitigate that flood a little bit. A little bit more card draw would be really nice. They've got decent removal, but it's all incredibly easy to blow out. Well, I say that, but Band Together is very easy to blow out. Yeah, that's what I'm doing here, Uberk. I know what you meant. I don't think we need our own splash, even though it is relatively easy. I think I'm done with the Basilisk Collar. I don't like it. Armor of Shadows is probably playable here. I didn't see anything we'd want the Cleric for, and I don't think red-green is known for its enchantments. So I could just try Armor of Shadows to blow out some, like have something else to blow out their combat tricks, or I could try Eye of the Beholder if we were looking to just kill something large. Never really had a spot for Watch. What if we do both? What if we do Eye of the Beholder and Armor of Shadows? I think I like that. I think I like that quite a bit. That ain't lovely, but it's playable-ish. Planes on top. One-time dealer. It's a rather reckless barbarian, I do believe. Neat. A gnome soldier. And a tie-filling rog assassin. You know, I really haven't played that much poker, WMG. I've played Magic with a lot of people who have played poker. Which has led to me picking up some of the slang. I think I like making this a 3-3. I guess if I was going to make that attack, I probably should have just blinked the Prowler and attacked for 3. I'll have to get used to these play patterns. I was thinking having the Death Toucher untapped would be nice, and it would be, but it's kind of irrelevant when they can't swing back anyway. Cool, I guess. Huh. That's rather insane. Hexproof is a super fun mechanic. All right. I want to get them before they have Lindworm Adventure mana. Band Together sucks. For me. It's pretty good for them. Man, this orb has been a pain in my butt. I don't even have good attacks next turn. They could have gained 2 life there and didn't, but it's really good in their deck. Yeah, I think I just go ahead and get this out of my hand. It's not enabling any attacks, but it's also just not going to. I could, in theory, attack with the 4/4, but it just doesn't do anything other than jump check them when I'm tapped out. Yeah, I didn't love poker. I don't think it's for me. But that's alright, doesn't need to be. Play what makes you happy. Now we pass till we draw something. This is why I like the Bag of Holding so much, but we haven't drawn the dang thing. Like, this deck will flood, and there's just no way to mitigate that. It's got some incredibly powerful cards, but if we flood out, we're just kind of stuck holding the raft, you know what I mean? I mean, those are 3 cards I didn't want to draw, so I'm pretty happy you found those prisoners. I do like you find some prisoners a lot. The fact that they didn't hit with it doesn't make the card bad. I think it's one of my favorite red commons. I don't know that that makes it one of the best red commons, but I do quite like it. I assume they had a trick, so I want to just put the thing in front of it that I care the least about it dying. Because, like, why else would you do that? He doesn't really do anything now, but good blocker. What are you doing? I'm in a pretty happy life total, so I'm gonna need you to show me what this trick is again. This doesn't play around them playing the Lindworm here, but I'm pretty fine with that. Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, I think we just jam this. This can draw me the Bag of Holding, which I dig. But we should be able to get decent value off of this. Glad they didn't hit that off of their fit prisoners. Good grief. Been bloody terrifying. Hey, what's up, Sayonara? I quite enjoy it. How are things in your world? If they attack with it here, I'm just taking the hit. Because I don't want to kill it and let them pump it. Are you in Ukraine, bud? I don't think I knew that. So does this give it -2, -0? Stay safe out there, bud. I'm sorry to hear that. I had no idea. I still want to know how that boon works because that'd be freaking funny. They've got some good removal. They've got some good combat tricks. I do really feel like our Armor of Shadows can help protect that. And again, just drawing Bag of Holding would be insane. I could almost splash for this looter if we want another Bag of Holding. Because I want to reconfigure this deck after the next one, because I haven't been pleased with Basilisk Collar. I'm not saying there's not a deck for it, or that there's not a build around place where you could make it good. I'm just saying it's not good here. We are going on the draw though, and I think there I'm not as interested in it, but I could play the Pilgrim's Eye and the splash for the looter and be pretty happy. The removal is around the 2 health. They did have a lot of shocks, but they also have Band Together is probably the best, I'd assume the best removal spell in their deck. Like, it's an insane removal spell. I think I'm still pretty happy with this. I'm just nervous is all. I'd like more of the Guildsworn Prowlers. These were incredibly underrated in the preview of that, but I guess people have read the card since then. I think that was literally the only one we saw. Oh my goodness, we got a Bag of Holding and an otherwise mediocre draw, but I will take it. Yeah, I think we should be helping too, Thangarth, for sure. I'm having a good time, John, playing Magic in current year. Feels weird. Did my sound effects die? Because it feels like they did. I'd forgotten that pizza grows on trees. I think we're supposed to bolt the bird. That is a bit disorienting. I'm so used to the sound effects, it feels weird not to have them. I really don't want a Grim Bounty, a 2/2. They can also just sack it in response and I don't even get the treasure token. The question is, do I want to take 8 damage for it? And I guess in that case, the answer is no, I don't. So there's some of the sound effects that are there, but some of them that aren't. The damage sounds are the ones that aren't there. And that's weird. Okay, now we can certainly bounty that. Because we've got a backup. I'm okay with this. That orb is a pain in my butt. You got the +3/+3 spell. glad I played this instead of the vampire. Oh, we're just banding together? All right. You do get a little bit of card advantage in the form of these imps. I've got one more 6. I should just play this out and hold on to the treasure. We can loot away any extra lands we draw from here. I think I'm supposed to be clocking them for 4. Because you don't win by having a high life total. There are a lot of orbs to ponder, to be fair. Dude. That's not great. Because that's a bit too much damage for me to be willing to take. I guess I can just gain the life now, though. Which is fine. If I'm worried about it. Which I kind of am. Yeah, it has hexproof for a turn. It can't block, though, so they're going to hit me for 6, but I can mitigate that a little bit by attacking for 2 and gaining 2. Then I'll Grim Bounty it. Oh, shoot. That doesn't do what I thought. Well, now we learned. I'm going to 3, I guess. I thought it was gain life equal... I should have. I straight up should have. Because I remembered that it couldn't block this, and I forgot that it couldn't block this. The short answer is unfamiliarity with new cards. I'm bad, and I should feel bad. I entirely misunderstood what this card did. Now, they can block and sack. Which will prevent me from gaining any life, which they also could have done last turn, but still definitely should have just done that. But I just didn't quite remember what this card did. See, this is how you get through a flood. Much better. All right, we made a mistake, but we still walk away with the victory. I will take that one. That's a good news. It's good. Oh, I did say I was going to change a few things in the deck, and then I didn't. And I would like to do that, because I really am unhappy with this Basilisk Collar. Let's do that before we play the next round. Like, we can bring it in if we think it's going to be particularly good, but I have not been happy. I think I might rather just have a solid combat trick. Because, like, this plays pretty nicely with a bunch of our creatures, right? Like, it's incredible with the Prowler. I can potentially be quite good with the Ghoul. It can enable some attacks. I think I'm pretty interested in just playing the combat trick. I again, think there's decks that could probably use it. There's some green cards that can make tokens, for example, and it would probably be better there. It has not performed well for me. That works. Congratulations, Rock. Plagoo! I haven't seen any Sayonara, but I mean, I'd be willing to believe it does. Like, that's the classic thing to do with Basilisk Collar. We just don't have it here. Okay. Kind of get a 2-for-1 if I kill that, so I'm gonna. If they blocked the other way, I was going to play the intervention. Yeah, this intervention's pretty great. I'm glad that I read it. I would draft again. Okay, so it looks like they're presumably trying to be aggressive. This thing's actually bloody terrifying. We just happen to hit a really great way to interact with it. I guess it's kind of like a creature with flashback. But this may mean that we're more interested in 2-drops and cheap things than kind of expensive stuff. So I don't think the Flaming Fist Officer really belongs here anymore. Yeah, I already have a bunch of 2-drops. I'm trying to consider the Cleric, right? Because even though we didn't see a Minimus Containment, this is a deck that would probably play one. The Cleric could potentially exile that demon from their graveyard, and the 2 life is always going to be relevant. And it's a particularly good blocker for early Hobgoblin captains, and we know they have 2 of. So I feel like this is just a really, really good matchup for the Dawnbringer Cleric. I'm trying to decide if I want another combat trick. If their removal is all damage based, then I think this is actually a better combat trick. It just kind of sucks because I'm a little heavier black than white. But with those adjustments, I could swap out a swamp for a plains. I think I can. Let's give this a go. Because bouncing something when they go to kill it that may have an ETB would be nice, and the +3 in the butt probably does the same thing as invulnerability here. It's not great, but it'll work. It's got the Bag of Holding, which I seem to always want to draw. Nice. That probably needs to just be cast down. They just drew it, or just drew the mountain. I can't remember if they'd played it already. Okay. Well, that sucks, but at least it's out of their hand. We can potentially trade the Imp for it, and then sack the Hippogriff and have a clear board. Because we've got the card advantage machine rolling. Yeah, this is fine. Well, not if they do that. I think this is the right call. Because they've got some way to pump something, or that line doesn't make a lot of sense. I assume everyone starts every match that way. I don't know why you wouldn't, Engor. That's annoying. Doesn't really matter which one of these sticks around, but getting 2 things in play is nice here. How are the games now? I mean, it depends on what you're into. I really like the set so far, so that's nice. I took a long break because I really didn't like Kamigawa, and Streets of New Capenna didn't seem particularly great either. But this set seems awesome. Tricks and processes. Just power up our hand until we can overwhelm them. Not bad stashing a few cards under there, like we'll eventually get to them. I love Bag of Holding. That card's so good. It's so underrated. Used to be a rare. And it was good then. That's something to pay attention to. When a card used to be a rare and gets moved to an uncommon, it's probably because Magic has changed somewhat in the intervening times. But pretty good bet it's still pretty dang good. Hey, good morning, Dom. How you doing? Respectable. I think it still is, John. I really, really like this set. It's a lot of fun so far. I think I'm going to play a lot of this, which I wasn't really quite prepared for, but here we are. I'm having a good time playing Magic. What the hell is a play-in point? I don't want this. Can I sell this for something? I want my 500 gems back, please. And a very big thank you to my patrons. Thank you, Punk, Joe, Jesse, Jacob, Scott, Basti, Rich, Brandon, Jazzy, Craig, and Geis. I appreciate y'all.